cool thing about me is that I am a deaf musician.
So essentially, I was born without a left eardrum, which means that I have absolutely no sound in my left eardrum. And with the current scientific advances or medical advances, there is still nothing they can do. It's sort of like I'm making a soundtrack for my life. It's very derivative of what's going on. Like I have songs called Homecoming. Where it's just, you know, like not a lot of them have words. A lot of them are just kind of like sort of like jazz ensembles, where it's like, you know, random, but it has some sort of motion to it. I would say my music is a representation of me, in that it is sort of the emotional kind of zigzag sort of myself, because it kind of takes like a certain vibe, a certain emotion to make a song like that, and so it takes time, and in that it kind of just builds my character sort of. It's like I wouldn't say it's a definite representation of me, it's a definite representation of what's going on. I think being deaf does affect my music in a positive way, in that I understand what it's like to not have sort of sound. So I feel like my songs are kind of very over the top, very happy, sort of like a celebration of sound itself and a celebration of an ensemble of music, which just is very inspirational to me, sort of, because the chances of me going completely deaf are rather high compared to a normal individual. So sort of like the fear of losing sound is pushing the greatness sort of my music. It's all very happy and celebratory. Sound is very important to me. I know, coming from the deaf kid, it doesn't seem like sound would be so important to me, but I have these sort of, how do I put this, recently especially, flashes of, I guess I call them sound hiccups, where essentially in my right ear, since my right ear is overcompensating for my left ear, it sort of just not shuts down, but it muffles out, and it kind of gives out, exhausts itself, and has this slight ring, and it's excruciating, and it's very loud, and it gives me a headache. So I always have a pair of headphones, and I put the headphones in on very low music, so it just sort of drowns it out. So that's just an example of how important music is to me. It's always kind of with me in a sort of fun, like, you know, music is good, I love to listen to it. Also, it's very, I guess, medical for me, like, so it's difficult when teachers tell me to, like, take my headphones out or something, because I can't really explain what's going on, but the lack of sound sort of scares me to a certain extent. Music is an outlet for me to create things. When, you know, frustration, you always want to crank out that heavy metal sort of vibe, or, you know, fast rap song. But so music it's always been there, and I think that it always will be, and it's always very influential and indispensable. I don't know if I necessarily see a career in making music, because it's very competitive, and I don't know if it takes the emotion away for it, but I like the idea of being like just a kid that, you know, makes weird songs, weird sounds, and it works. So I know this may sound sort of corny, but I mean, if anything, I would say that you are who you are, and you can't really change that, and so you have to make most with what you have. And in my situation, it's almost weird, or not wrong per se, but strange, that a kid whose hearing isn't the greatest, in a sense, is making music. And I think that's such a fun idea. So my thing is, you know, whatever you have and whatever you do, you can always turn that into something awesome.